Guys, it's Mew. This is my Nintendo 64 top 5 games list. A disclaimer before we start. This list is only for my own personal opinion. I don't care at all what your opinion of this list is, because this is my own personal opinion. So, anyway, let's get started.
Number 5.
Number 5 is Pokemon Stadium, if you couldn't already tell from the intro. This was an especially fun game for me when I was a kid because, before this, you only really saw the Pokemon on your Game Boy Color, and it was really cool to be able to play as your favorite Pokemon and get them all in a team in 3D graphics on a big TV, and also the mini games and everything was a really fun extra. And with Pokemon Stadium is Pokemon Stadium 2. I could not choose between the two, and I think their quality is pretty similar, so it's really hard to determine which one is better. It was just an awesome, extra afterwards for them to continue this with the Johto region. I don't know why they stopped making these, because I think that they would be really successful if they continue to make these. I wish they would pick this back up, but I can't foresee that happening. So, pretty much had similar things. Pokemon Stadium 1, just different games. Also very fun. But, yeah. I kind of think one of my favorite things, little added special treats to these games, besides like the mini games and battling the gym leaders and all of that, was that you could actually plug in your Pokemon cartridge for Game Boy Color into the extension that goes on the bottom of your Nintendo 64 controller. The name is slipping by me, I don't remember the name of that extension. But you could actually use the Pokemon from your team and use them in Pokemon Stadium, and I thought that was so cool when I was a kid. I used to do that all the time, and I used to be like, hey, look, there's my Pokemon in 3D, it's like he's really there. I thought that was really cool. That was a really nice touch.
Number 4.
Okay, so number 4 is Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. This game, in my opinion, is literally a work of art. Literally every single aspect of this game is absolutely beautiful. From the dungeon and town and how it looks and everything, and the character design and the storyline and the music. Some of my favorite Legend of Zelda music comes from this game. It's absolutely gorgeous. Um, Another thing I really like about this game is that it's a little bit less childish, I guess. I mean, mostly because of just how creepy it is. It's really unsettling at certain times, and it's kind of known for that. And I think that's a really awesome part of this game. Another thing that was pretty new, obviously, was the time restriction, and I heard they did that because it made it easier to develop the game in a shorter amount of time, because I heard that this game was made in like within the time span of a year or 20 months. I don't remember which one off the top of my head, but I know it was like a super short amount of time. And I remember when I first played this game, I didn't think I was going to be able to keep up with the time constraints, I can talk. But I did, obviously. But I don't want to say I really liked that, but it was definitely interesting, but I can understand why they did it if they were going to make this game in such a short amount of time. I also heard that they use like the same models and stuff from Ocarina's Time. Ocarina of Time, so that they could get this done quickly. And just considering all of that, I think this game really outdid itself. It's absolutely magnificent.
Number 3.
And number 3 is Super Smash Bros., the first one. This game is just the definition of fun. Literally everything about this game is so much fun. It was so awesome to be able to pick through so many different characters and be able to play as different, your favorite characters and battle against other people and, your friends and everything. That was so cool. And also it was a really great way to, learn about other franchises and games on Nintendo systems. I mean, I wouldn't have known anything about Star Fox or, Metroid or any of that if it weren't for this game, because, the characters were in here and then I got curious later on. So that was really cool. Another really awesome thing was, unlocking the characters and everything like that. That was so exciting. I remember every time, it used to, flash with the silhouette of the new character, new challenger approaching. That used to make me so hyped and so excited when I was a kid. It was the most exciting thing.
Number 2.
It's me, Mario! Press start to play. Okie dokie.
Dear Mario, please come to the castle. I have baked a cake for you. Yours truly, Princess Toadstool. Peach.
Number 2 is Super Mario 64. This game is obviously iconic for the Nintendo 64 and just in Nintendo video game history in general. And I believe it was the first time they were able to really successfully get the 3D graphics just right. Or 3D, This game is just so much fun. As aggravating as it was for me personally when I was a kid, because when I was 7, 6, I wasn't smart enough to get past so many of the puzzles in this game, so I never really got that far when I was a kid. I only just recently beat it, but nevertheless, it's still a super fun game and a super huge part of my childhood, and I'm sure the childhoods of everybody who grew up with a Nintendo 64. Just everything about this game was so much fun, and exploring all the different levels it had, exploring the castle was so just awesome to me, and even going outside to the courtyard and discovering new things outside of the castle, because it's just the entire world was, there's so many new things to discover and able to be explored, and every single level was just so much fun. It had different goals for each one. Obviously this game is just really amazing and obviously very iconic to Nintendo.
Number 1.
And without further ado, last but not least, of course, is Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I am sure nobody saw this coming, because this totally isn't number 1 on every single list, and this totally isn't called the best Nintendo game of all time. And I'm pretty sure actually it was I think it had the title of most critically acclaimed video game of all time, and they kind of got together all of the ratings that this game received and averaged out that this game is the highest rating video game of all time. I don't know if that's still true, but I know it was true at one time, because this game is pretty old. I don't know if another game took this title from, Ocarina of Time, but I wouldn't be surprised if it still had this title, because this game is absolutely amazing. Obviously, just literally everything about it, just the atmosphere, the environment, getting to play all the instruments, and just how interactive this game is, the characters, the backstories for the characters, the gameplay, the music, just everything about this game is so fantastic. I can't even count how many times I have played this game. Just Ocarina of Time is such a groundbreaking video game, and it truly stands the test of time for how amazing and fun and just all around a work of art this game is. This totally deserves the #1 spot on my stupid little YouTube list, on all the other YouTube lists, and just on all the magazines and everything it's been rated in. It is absolutely amazing, and the amount of work that went into this game is phenomenal. This game is amazing, obviously, and I definitely am not the only one that feels that way. I don't think I'm alone in that opinion.